I'm delighted to be talking to Valery Timofeev. He's the director of the ITU's Radiocommunication Bureau. Mr. Timofeev, thanks for coming in. What would you like to see in terms of radio coming out of the upcoming conference in Hyderabad?
While speaking of Hyderabad and interest of our sector, it is you would indicate the same story of emergency communication, of climate change, of the introduction of digital technology, new generations of personal communications and whatnot. So we have all our primary interests for studies in the R sector. They are in one way or another related to the activity of development sector.
It seems now that the distinction between radio, television, press is breaking down. We can get radio and television on our telephones. We can get radio down through the internet. Do you think that distinction has any meaning now?
If you analyze the transmissions in the air, then in most of the cases it is digital. Then from that standpoint, it doesn't matter what you are transmitting, because it's a kind of digital container where you put in television, data transmission, or radio, or internet, or whatnot. Probably it will not be too easy to modify the regulations and the procedures to cover this new digital environment, because it's not only technology, it's also the organization, it's administration, the group of people involved in the application. It might be broadcasters on one hand, which are very powerful, as you know, or some fixed communication people, or satellite communication. And in spite of the fact that the signals are more or less the same from the scientific technological standpoint, the people using are different, and the interest might be different also.
After a disaster, when it comes to emergency communication, radio can play a pivotal role. What function has the ITU played in trying to make sure that radio is well positioned for disaster management?
We are now in the process of preparing a special frequency database to be used in a case of emergency. The aim is, when you came as a rescue team to the place, you are not to look for any administrative or bureaucratic arrangements with the local authorities of frequency management, which might be not in existence, you know, but still the custom regulations, the border regulations for the moment might prevent you from importing the equipment and starting to operate. So this database, we hope, will help a lot to avoid those difficulties.
The switch over from analog to digital radio hasn't been without its critics. Have you been entirely satisfied with the way that it's gone?
The time for hesitation and the time for those negative exercises in the past, it is in the past. And now everybody is convinced that there is no other way than to go digital. This is unavoidable, and this is the very correct way to go, because first of all, there is so-called and very oftenly referred to digital dividend, which is very important term in our frequency management environment, because you could transmit, depending on the processing of in one frequency channel, where you previously transmitted one analog TV program. Now you could discuss transmitting up to 10. So this is, of course, it is not immediately leading us to cutting the spectrum for broadcasting 10 times and giving 90% to other services, but still, one way or another, after this digitalization, there will be a part of spectrum which could be provided for some other services like 4G, 3G, or whatnot.